Okay, thank you. I'm actually from Tampere, so this is real nice to come back to the roots and be here talking. And also thanks for the organizers for inviting our studio here. And thanks for arranging that Karin was the first speaker, so we can avoid her humiliating us. Like Paul was nicely taking care of it. I'm going to talk mainly about our projects, a little bit like mainly focusing on 2 projects and then showing a little bit what we are doing right now overall. And as it was mentioned, we are Studio Puisto as part of Uusikaupunki, so that's one aspect. But since Uusikaupunki was presenting last time here, so I won't be talking about Uusikaupunki so much, but more from Studio Puisto perspective. Okay, so it's 5 partners in Studio Puisto, and we have a few employees right now. And I think quite important stuff for us has been that we were a collective of about 11 people, which was actually founded by us 5. And so we were working as a collaborative before we actually founded our company. And why we were doing that was somehow like we have always believed that collaboration and working together is something more, and that was also the case. So finally, because of all that collaboration and doing competitions together, we founded our office with the 5 of us. And collaboration has been somehow very important for a young office like us. So Uusikaupunki is one of those examples. So we've been working with those 6 different companies founding Uusikaupunki, but then also there's new offices there with us, and then here are some other recent collaboration partners for Puisto. And we are pretty much working with some like hospitality, so that there are some like hotels and leisure and leisure areas and that kind of like related to tourism. And then one thing what we are doing right now and what we have background from previous jobs is education or school projects. And then we work pretty much from the scale of urban planning to really like detailing. And then under the interaction theme, so this has been really crucial for us. We are really involving different parties in the design process. So we work with people of cities, especially in Uusikaupunki, but also in other projects. We work with end users, for example, in education projects, and want to involve those. And we also work with cities, entrepreneurs, and we are always looking for good solutions for all different parties. Human-centered design, as I would call maybe this Uusikaupunki stuff, I first came about it when I was doing a diploma work, so this is going a little bit back. This is a silo in Oulu, designed by Alvar Aalto, and in my diploma work, which is actually a real continuous project, maybe a little bit of funding could be nice at this point. It's been running for a while now, but really nice purposes for the culture. Okay, it's different. Well, Kulttuurivoimala Culture Power Station is the client for this. And maybe I would say the client is the community in this case. And the silo has been abandoned since 1980. when the factory area was turned into, or factory was turned down, and then later it was turned into a city part of Oulu, and let's say it doesn't have the best reputation in Oulu. Meritoppila, maybe you heard of it, and there's 80% of the houses are somehow like socially based, rentable housing. So there are certain problems in the area, and maybe that's kind of like lack of roots in the for the people, and especially this silo has been also like empty there for over 20 years. Looked pretty ugly, and it's been voted as Oulu's most ugly building. So, and that was exactly when I was doing my diploma work. So we tried something, how to transform with quite a little, or because there was no money, so like in innovation, so sponsors first. So we were working with Ikutsini for a lighting demo. And this was an easy way to transform the surroundings really quickly. We had a lot of happenings on the area, and like the local citizens were taking part of it. And somehow this is when this has two topics in a way, because this is about somehow revitalizing cities, and well, it's not CityCon coming there to invest on this, but somehow what we are trying to find is that it would bring so much for the community outside this one building if it was preserved, that it would probably actually make the area much more attractive, more safe, and with this blank spot in the middle, so that's maybe like polarizing the problems right now. But Oulu City was really interested about this, and they actually offered some money to do the lighting for permanently, or it's permanent now. And the process is ongoing. But I also needed to think as an architect somehow about this human-centered design, that are we really like, somehow what we have been taught is that as an architect you make decisions and you're leading the process and you're giving your vision. But somehow there, first time I faced the question that somehow like if people are actually designing it together. And I can't say it was a hard time, but somehow it was first challenging to think that actually buildings can be designed together, and that's maybe more true with the cities, that they are designed together. So, and then if you think about product design, people are defining what products look like and how they are, because otherwise they won't be usable. But of course, there are still architects needed to form that maybe, or advise on forming that. Okay, so big questions here was if it's not used, it will be demolished. So we're really working hard on the preserving part. Here's some images from the first floor multipurpose use space. And here's what it will look from outside, preserving Alvar Aalto architecture and then bringing something new to the community. Okay, this is actually right next to the building, 2013. So Uusikaupunki has been quite important for our office as well. We have been founding it. And this time I will point out few projects that are maybe actually not so much about city regeneration, but that like we're talking about the hotel and this kind of stuff. So it's a little bit different problematics than actually like very public city space, or urban space. But we are doing different kind of workshops. So just a quick look. This week we were in Malmi. Malmi Airport has been quite a hot topic in Helsinki, alongside Guggenheim. A lot of people want to preserve it, or preserve the aviation there. And then again, there's a huge need for new places or new housing in Helsinki. So we have been doing this for the KSV, the planning department of Helsinki, and really listening to people, and it's been really nice. We've been working with a little bit new tool set, where we really like, I thought that somehow we can sneak in those good ideas for the planning department, or kind of like for politicians from the people, and really like try to facilitate those into the plans, and listen where the actual some like river is going underground. Of course, those things are also thought about in the planning process. So I'm not saying that's a wrong way to do it. I'm just saying that there's much information that we can actually use in the design that we can get from the people. And you need to ask the right way. If you just ask, like usually, if you ask like, how do you want to revitalize the city? People are saying, well, it looks dull, there should be more color. Well, we're architects, we won't put color there. So, and there should be more green, okay? In Finland, like, well, green half the year, or how does it go? But if you really start asking, like, why do you want the green, or why do you want the color, or actually go a little bit deeper, I've felt that it has helped me and us create more like guidelines for the design. It's actually quite nice to design with guidelines. One of our employees was saying at some point that it would be nice to have, for once, a commission that there's no guidelines. And I thought that somehow I've actually really liked when there's guidelines. I don't know if it makes me a worse architect or not, but that's how I like it. Okay, from these different scales, this is pretty much the range we've been working and how we work. So we initiate things. And many times we are actually doing still the concept. Maybe someone is giving something a little to help it out. But in a lot of our projects, we've been working with the concept and then found the customer, so, or someone who's actually doing the project. So in this case, it's showing a dream hotel from Tampere. And for the city planning in Tampere, in Uusikaupunki workshop, we were thinking about empty industrial buildings in the city. So like new use for those. And then we were also asking from people what kind of needs there are in the city. So that was the interaction with the citizens mainly, and ideas about using those. And then we also had, as local experts, one of them was hostel, like young entrepreneur on the area. So with him, we took it further. So basic idea was compact private space and spacious common spaces. And then there was Linnan Juhlat, so that's presidential party in Tampere, 1 year, because the renovation of the presidential castle in Helsinki. So we were asked to design a pop-up hotel for those parties. Then we also thought that what could it be used after that, because that's basically like one day happening. And so this is what we thought, and there's actually a big lack of some like places for bands and that kind of stuff for or in Tampere. So that was fitted with that one. But okay, with our local expert, we actually took it a little bit further, and we started designing a hotel in, well, I wouldn't say abandoned. It's well, a small industry house next to Tampere Talo. Not very attractive, but somehow like that's where we went and took the concept of the qualities. So for in Tampere, quite well-known dream hotel or dream hostel, we did a dream hotel. And here are some pictures from the ready-made stuff. So that's also where we aim, that we are a little bit like low-key in that sense that we like concepts, but we also like real stuff. So this is how it looked. Basic problem was that you could have about 16 rooms if you think about the windows on that space. So with this concept, we could create about 22 rooms. And hotel space is quite minimum. I'm staying in dream hotels. I'm not going to use it. I'm not going to use my time in the hotel. I will look at the lectures and then maybe meet a few friends. But that's not the point in hotel. So somehow like maybe you meet them on the corridor. So we wanted to create spaces on the corridors or in between that are attractive. So here are some pictures from the hotel. And it was a great client. We were doing everything quite fast, but still he thought that the design is really important, and we were really doing every last detail. So if there is something that doesn't look good, then it's our fault. So that's somehow like those two projects showing the way how we work and how we want to initiate projects, and how we try to create our own tasks in a way, because somehow we felt that if someone asks you an offer that you're just doing some certain part of the architecture, somehow like we really felt nice that, or unfortunate that we've been working with like the whole process from start to every last detail. This was one of the first projects for Puisto when we founded the company. And our task was to design a small hotel, a small spa, and a restaurant. So now I'm just going to quickly scroll through a few different projects. So this is one of them. And here again, we were doing this for the city, but then actually an entrepreneur took it further. And okay, now we're waiting for the next step. It's in middle of Finland. And we work with quite a lot with images, and it actually has helped us to take the projects forward quite nicely and really like picture it for the people that this is what we're aiming for. And I think in the Dream Hotel, we also want to say that we actually will do it like this. So it's not just pretty images, but we really want to get that effect in reality. This is also in the middle of, or 100 kilometers from Jyväskylä up north, so a travel center. There was also some cottages and some leisure area next to it. And this is actually right now under bidding, so the building works will start pretty much maybe next month. With the hotel, or with Ville Virki from Dream Hotel, we have been really because we work with our clients really carefully. So and he was really satisfied from the end result. So we really also like to take things forward, and with him we have been now designing a new housing area to Valkeakoski, where Ville is actually from. And it's a mix of, it's next to some schools, so it's a mix of student housing, some elderly housing, and also smaller houses. And they're all connected with the green space, or like with common yard space in between. Then one of the most recent projects that is just completed was Kahvila Siili, and I think this was a nice project because an entrepreneur from California who has been working, he invented the Skype or something like that, and then he sold it for Microsoft or something like that, and his wife has been developing Flickr, and he sold it to some other company. So they've been doing some nice stuff, and how we got this project was that we designed their attic renovation in Helsinki, and then it has actually continued from that, and so things start from quite small stuff, and then they lead to really peculiar other stuff, usually. Kahvila Siili, in terms of square meters, it's one of our smallest projects. It's maybe 10 square meters, or maybe 12. If you count the kitchen, then it's maybe 16. But in terms of interaction and collaboration, it's we've had the biggest meetings in our office through this project. There has been, of course, like HVAC designers, structural engineering, landscape architect, interior design, interior concept design, graphical design, also advertisement or kind of like a branding company. There's a person who's taking, or the cafe, or who's running the cafe, baristas. I think there has been, I've never seen so much people in real big projects either. But somehow on the lower corner you see the old building in Käpylä, and this entrepreneur wanted to bring something back to where he is from. So he wanted to start a summer cafe and revitalize somehow like his home area. And you can't call him somehow like, even though I was saying about this Skype and other stuff, but he's a really nice guy, and I think really appreciating that somehow that really everything is not on those like big investors in a way, but somehow like we can also decide about our own community, what we bring. Like maybe we can't bring this kind of coffee places, but you can do it really low key as well. And okay, he knows people, and people were really interested, so it has been there now this summer. Now it was closed after the summer. He has been actually, or his family, whole family has been working in the cafe and serving brunch and so on and so on. And this is how it looks for the community. So I really like this process. We've been in not so big part as a head designer of it, so controlling everything or taking care of everything and running the project also. But somehow this is at the most where collaboration leads, and somehow like if you love the place where you're from. Okay, then a little bit other kind of stuff on education side. So we're really interested on how this knowledge about human-centered or co-creation with the end users, how it could be used in schools, because it's reality, like schools are used by the students, and there's quite a lot of changes in that. So new type of learning environments are quite hot topic as well. So we've been collaborating with the office Rudankokankkuna, also part of Uusikaupunki, and we have a shared office in Kamppi, in Helsinki. So we applied to an international competition to develop a, well, smart school is not a good word here, but because it was actually quite low key as well in many ways. It's not really digital school, but a nice new school concept, what they were looking for in Irkutsk, so really far. And everything has been really professional. And we were 2 small young offices from Finland. We have some experience of like from our team, Mikko, Samsa, and Willem has been working with quite nice schools in Finland right now. Rudankokankkuna has been also working with schools, for example, in Cambodia. But combined with all the competition references and our attitude, because they were also interviewing the people, we got into the competition. And when we saw that, okay, there's some quite nice, interesting offices in that one, we're like, okay, well, it's anyway interesting. So we were developing a campus for 1,000 students, and also there's some housing in the back of the area for orphans. So I will just show quickly a few of the images from the competition. In Russian schools, it's really important still, or it's like they really emphasize main square. So this is the main square in winter. Some new open school environments. We were like all the schools and the kindergartens were based on this courtyard or atrium shape. And this is an image from the campus for this kind of like SOS-lapsikylät in a way. And next, I don't know, we want to explore things, we want to look forward, and somehow, well, I'm the young speaker here, so somehow we want to encourage that somehow, like maybe small offices. I think the future with small offices is collaboration, and then together you will get into like really nice places and really nice tasks, and maybe also referring to Karin's talk earlier, that somehow there is a lot of local projects, and that's maybe because we are young and small, so we have been like meeting those people and through Uusikaupunki, but there's a lot of potential, like a little bit more grassroots level, and really like I encourage all the young offices to work together and to find those meaningful projects for yourself on that level. And here's some exploring today. Thank you.